Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Voices from China. Today this is another session of Parents' Voice where I talk to parents about raising their children in China. And today I'm here with Samantha Zavatori. She is an expat from Brazil and she's been here for 16 years raising her almost 2 years old child. Hey, let's start taking a walk.
Okay.
All right. So Samantha, I wanted to ask you first about giving birth, right? Your son is almost 2.
That's right. He's almost 2.
So 2 years ago, where did you give birth and why?
Okay. Even before I got pregnant, we had a plan. And for us, it was like this. First choice would be Hong Kong, mostly because of the language. English, right? We didn't know at that time when we would have a baby, so we didn't know how much English would be spoken at the hospitals in China, right?
Right.
So we had to consider that.
Right.
Second choice would be China, and third, Brazil. The reason we chose Brazil last is because I always wanted to have my husband at the time the baby would arrive, right?
Okay.
So if you are from any countries and you want to go back home for the birth of your baby, you have to go when you are around 7 months pregnant, right?
Right.
And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be in China, living my life with my husband and waiting for the baby's arrival here.
Right. So you were okay with having the baby inside mainland as a second choice,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But in the end you did it in Hong Kong. You still had to go there earlier or?
Yes.
Yes, you had to go earlier.
Yes, the plan was for me to go at 37 weeks, and at that time I was planning to go on a Friday and I had to go on a Wednesday because Francisco came on that Thursday.
Oh, okay. So you had
So it was all very
yes, emergency kind of.
Yes.
And how long did you have to stay there until you can come back home here to the mainland?
It took us 10 days to come back,
okay.
But at the hospital we stayed 5 days and then we rented an Airbnb only because we had to deal with all the paperwork.
Okay.
Right? Passport, birth certificate.
Did you get an ID in Hong Kong? Hong Kong ID?
No.
You didn't get an ID?
No. He is a Brazilian born in Hong Kong.
So you cannot get ID for Brazilians?
No.
I see. You know, my kids were born here in China, right? In the mainland. And I understand people that going to Hong Kong, where there is many considerations, right? Like also cost. And so are you happy with that choice? Was it a good experience?
Yes, it was amazing and I would do everything again.
Okay.
I chose the hospital I wanted. I got all the support I needed. So yes, I'm very happy with that experience.
Okay. How about being a parent as an expat in China, right? What do you think the pros and cons are? Is it more easy or more difficult?
I think it's difficult being a parent no matter where you are.
That's
you
true.
You would agree with me,
I
right?
100% agree, yes.
So yes, I love living in China and I think Francisco will have, especially because he's only 2, right? But he will have a lot of great experiences living in Dongguo. He will make a lot of friends from all over the globe.
Right.
He will speak languages. He will
Right.
travel more than if we would be living in Brazil.
Yes.
But I think for me the disadvantage is living away from grandparents.
Right, family. Are we going there or?
We can go there.
There, okay. So you say family, right? We are quite far from our families. This is usually the main disadvantage.
Grandparents, and I have a sister, so aunt, cousins, family.
So that's the main thing.
Yes, for sure.
So I want to talk about that. Recently, you were stuck out of China for 9 months because of the COVID pandemic, away from your husband, like many families, right? Can you tell me what happened?
So we decided to go to Brazil. My husband took my son and myself to Brazil, but the plan was to stay there only for 2 months.
Okay.
Wait for things to get better in China and come back. but then the whole world
Right. So when
got COVID, right?
while you were there, China banned the
Yes,
entry of foreigners,
yes,
right?
yes, that's right.
So you were stuck.
Yes.
But your husband managed to come back before.
He did.
To work.
He did. And
Right.
then he was here, I was in Brazil
Yeah.
with Francisco.
Right.
So it was a very challenging time for us as a family
Right.
because he's our only baby and Marcelo, my husband, was missing a lot,
Yes.
right?
I'm sure. 9 months. It's crazy to
Yes.
think to be away from your kids for 9
Yes.
months. And you guys did a lot of WeChat, video call,
all
the time.
thousands
Right.
and thousands of photos and videos.
But there is a silver lining, right? Being home, he could play with family, grandma, grandpa, cousins, whatever, speak more Portuguese. So this is a bit of a silver lining, right?
Yes, and actually if you talk with my husband, he will even say that. Well, I am away from my son, but at least he's having a lot of time with the grandparents.
Right.
And he's the only child, and his mother had a chance to spend a lot of time
Okay.
with her first and only grandchild, right?
Right, yes.
So it was like a gift.
That is great, yes. My family was stuck once in Israel for 3 months, and that was also the silver lining. Okay, so your son's first language is Portuguese?
That's right.
Because that's what you speak at home, right? And then what is the second language?
Well, right now, Francisco has been speaking a lot of Mandarin,
Okay.
and we love that.
Okay, so he's really getting good in Chinese.
Yes.
Okay.
Very good. So I think for a while, first language will be Portuguese from both of us,
Yes.
Mandarin from the nanny,
Yeah.
and then English when he goes to school.
Right. This is good.
English and Mandarin at school, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Right. So you're not worried about the English yet. Oh, he's only 2.
No,
Right.
I'm not. Yes.
So, you said the nanny, English, Chinese from the nanny, which is a lot of the kids here. The foreign kids, they get that from the nanny, right?
Yes, that's right.
Sometimes they get Cantonese too,
Yes,
right? You have a nanny
I do.
full time?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I hope you don't mind me asking or saying, right? But like you are a stay-at-home mom right now.
Yes, right now.
So how do you explain the need for a nanny? And pretty much everybody have nannies here, right? What does she help with? How is it good? Because you probably didn't grow up with a nanny.
No.
So how is it different here, right?
Well, the reason I have a full-time nanny is because when after I had Francisco, the plan was for me to go back to work.
Okay.
So we were lucky to find this nanny.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been with us since Francisco was 4 months old.
Okay.
And after I came back from Brazil, we decided we would want her to stay with us because Marcelo works, right? And I'm pretty much by myself during the day.
Mm-hmm.
So she helps me with a lot of things. I say we are a team.
You're a team
Yes,
together.
my husband.
It's not just the baby, right?
Yes,
It's
yes.
cleaning, it's
Yes.
food, those kind of things.
Yes, I have to tell you, it takes a village, right?
It does take a village. So I guess that Francisco is probably attached to her.
Very,
He loves her a lot.
very much.
And
yeah,
And it's a good way to also learn Chinese.
yes, yes.
So it has a few perks, and it's not as costly as USA or something like that, right? So it's possible for us.
Yes.
Okay. What about being a parent of a 2-year-old here in China? What kind of activities you can do with your child? Is it different than back home?
I think if you compare China, Dongguo and the city I come from,
Yeah.
for sure Dongguo has a lot more parks to offer.
Okay.
So he loves to be outdoor. So every time we get a chance, we go to a park and we spend time there. And also we take a swimming class together.
Swimming, okay.
Yes, parent and baby class, which is very, very fun. We enjoy a lot, and we have been doing that class since he was 4 months old.
Okay.
Yes.
This is something you could do back home too, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
do you feel you miss anything here? in terms of activities, what you can do with your child nowadays? I mean, China is different now than it used to be 15 years ago, right? Is there anything that you would want to do with him, but China doesn't have it?
No, not really.
No? Okay. What about school? When he, I mean, another year or two, is in the age he needs to go to kindergarten, right? What are you planning?
Well, we are actually considering to take him to school soon.
Okay.
He turns 2
Okay.
in April, and we're considering
there.
taking him to school.
Okay. You mean like preschool?
Preschool.
Yeah.
Yes.
So early.
Early.
What kind of preschool?
Well, yes.
International?
Yes,
So
international.
you're going to send him to international school,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Okay. Did you consider Chinese school at all?
No, because I worked at Eton House for 13 years.
Right.
So of course Eton House is my choice, right?
So you want to send him there?
Yes.
Okay, and you feel that he gets Chinese from the nanny, and there is some Chinese at school, and you want him to
Yes.
get an international education,
Yes.
right?
Language for me right now is not the priority. I want him to have a happy childhood. I want him to socialize. So in whatever language, because he's young.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question about his daddy, Marcelo, right?
Yes.
He, like many foreigners in China, he works hard, right? He
Yes.
has a good job, working probably long hours, usually travel a lot, but not this
No.
year, right?
Luckily.
Is this a challenge for being?
Marcelo is an amazing dad, and he tries to be present as much as he can. And he's a very hands-on dad.
Ah, okay.
So every time he's at home, he will take Francisco away from me and do everything.
Right.
Yes, yes.
As a parent, what do you think? How do you measure your success as a parent? It's a tough question.
It is.
It's a tough question.
I think by being there. I think by making sure Francisco is well taken care of, loved. I think that's what measures myself as a parent.
That's what's important for you.
Yes.
Right.
I chose not to work because I wanted to spend as much time as I could with him. I still breastfeed him.
Okay. That's not
So-
crazy. It's not even 2 yet, right?
Yes,
So yeah.
yes. So I think
Being there.
being there.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And what's your plans for the future? Are you going to stay here in China?
Yes.
You think he's going to grow up here for many more years?
I think so. That's what we want. We want to stay in China for as long as we can. We don't know the future, right?
Right,
Especially
right.
nowadays. But yes, living in China, enjoying life. This is our home.
This is your home, and
Yes.
you like it.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Thanks, Samantha.
Thank you.
And if you like this video, please, as usual, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Leave me comments down below with questions you want me to ask more parents in China. Till next time, bye bye.